Welcome to another very special edition of Old School Scribe Podcast. We got one of the originals, one of the best, number 58, Al Beauchamp. One of Paul Brown's first draft picks in the year of 1968. Went on to play 8 seasons for the Bengals. Played on 2 division champions, 3 playoff teams. Al, it's great to have you on with us. Thanks for joining us.
It's a pleasure.
Had you on, we're taking a special look at the historically black colleges and what a factor they were on those first Bengals teams. When you guys won that first title in 1970, won 7 straight to end it. You were playing linebacker out of Southern. Ken Riley was playing corner out of Florida A&M. And Lamar Parrish was playing corner out of Lincoln. There's a lot of history there.
Yeah.
How'd you end up going to Southern, Al?
Well, my family home was only about a mile away from Southern University, and my family was pretty large. I had 3 sisters and 4 brothers. And my dad, when it came down to making a decision, he said, you just need to go across the track. And across the track was Southern University. He said, because if something happened and you go off, I wouldn't be able to get you home.
Right. Now,
but if you go across the track, something happened, you can walk home.
Now you were how far did you live from Louisiana State University?
From Southern University?
No, from where you lived, how far was LSU?
LSU was about 10 miles.
Yeah. They wanted you and you wanted to go there, right?
Oh yeah, I would have been delighted because they really was our big brother.
Yeah. But you couldn't go because what? Because of segregation?
Correct. Yeah, it was not integrated.
Yeah. I mean, how tough was that to not to be able to go to the school of your choice?
Well, I guess at that time, that's how it worked. So
right.
I had to deal with what I had to deal with.
Right. Did you think about, I mean, you said you had maybe Arizona, maybe, right?
Yeah, Arizona State. But, I had some other HBCU schools, like Grambling. Grambling was my big rivalry. And my neighborhood and all that was under the impression that I was going to Grambling University.
But your dad wanted you even closer than that, right?
Correct. Yeah. Yeah, he said, you just go right across the track. Well, if something happened, you can walk home. But I enjoyed it. I had a great college life. The one thing was the playing field was, back that time was not level. And I understood that. But I think if my mindset were that I was just as good as the next person, or better than. I relied on my talent. I had size. I had speed, and I was a quick learner. But some of the little ins and outs of the game, I think if I had more of an individual coach. Like the kids today got individual coaches.
Right.
So they can teach you different techniques. And that I learned those techniques probably the last half of my football career.
Right. Now you came in as what did you play in college? Did you play end in college, right?
I played defensive end in college. So like I said, I had to learn to read different offensive formations. to get my key to who I'm going to be responsible for on each and every play.
Right.
And I learned to read the offense plays from how to line it. See, I had to learn that at the pro level.
Right.
I'm thinking if I was taught that earlier, and I think that was just one of the faults that being at that HBCU school where we only had 5 coaches. You went to one of the biggest schools, they had 15, 20 coaches.
Right.
So the players had individual coaches. I mean, that's just like having a tutor.
Right.
And, you studied. We sat down there and watched. I didn't know nothing about watching film.
Right.
I picked those up from, like I said, my best friend, Ken Avery.
Right.
Because when he came to the Bengals, because he came a year after I was there, and he worked with me about sitting down, watching films, being able to read offensive formations.
Right.
And who I key on each and every play. I mean, we lined up during the week on Sunday. We already done played the game.
Right.
You just familiarize yourself on Sunday because you know what's coming before it comes.
Right. Right.
And yeah, in college, all I did was line up in a 3-point stand. And, when the ball was snapped, you went for the quarterback.
Now, Al, what'd you run the 40 in?
I ran at 4.5.
There you go. You were like one of the first speedy cover linebackers in the pros.
Yeah. Yes.
That was your thing. That was your thing with speed, and Avery's thing, who was he was a former Giant. He was the middleman, right?
Right. Yeah. He was right. And like I said, he went to Southern Mississippi, and he was I was a finesse player.
Right.
I wasn't physical. Ken was a physical player.
Right.
So I was able to play, the 9 years, and I never really had a serious injury. And I'm contributing that to my finesse,
Right.
And like I said, I learned a lot of the game at the end of my career, probably the last 4 or 5 years.
I mean, that defense was almost self-taught. You obviously had good coaching in Cincinnati, but you made a transition. Ken Riley played quarterback. He had never played defense until he got to Cincinnati, and Lamar Parrish had been a running back.
Right.
And he had never played. He had never played corner until he got here. So you guys were learning on the fly.
Correct. That's what. Yeah. If you refer to it, that's what it was about. And I think that might have been some of our shortcomings, being at that HBCU school. But now it's the playing field is a little more level now. So I keep up with a lot of college sports, and I see now where Division I players are going back to the HBCU school.
Yeah, they can. I mean, they're still going to get looked. I mean, they're still going to be found in this day and age, and they might play. And they might play, and they're going to play more. I mean, maybe they're going to play more than they might at a big school.
Oh yeah, now because they get a little more exposure. They get an opportunity to play in a bowl game or all-star game, and they got pretty good scouts out there now. Because communication.
What about that? For that 1970 team has always kind of really intrigued me. How did you guys? You won 6 straight and won the division. How did that happen?
You know what? I think we started to come together because we had played for maybe 2.5 years together.
Right.
And I think. we got more comfortable with one another, and we knew one another's responsibility. We didn't just know ours. We knew 11 positions. So on each play, we knew where one another should be.
Now, like you said, you guys were, you knew, you were kind of 11 guys. You were as one. You guys knew what the other guy was going to do.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. When you get that individual coaching, and then you come together, and you sit there in the room, and you put it all together. See, we spent more time in the classrooms than we did on the field.
I mean, it sounded like the HBC. I mean, it prepared you for that level of play. I mean, you obviously played at Southern. You played a high level of you were playing Division I guys. They weren't in Division I, but they.
If you go back and you look at the AFL, a lot of players that played was from HBCU schools.
Yeah.
You know, we had like Otis Taylor. Just Buck Buchanan.
Right.
They had some great players. Willie Brown. We had some great players that went to HBCU schools. And then they went on to play for like Kansas City Chiefs, San Diego Chargers.
Yeah.
And we was all in that league. So we played against them. And we knew them from college because some of them we played against in college.
Yeah. That's the first time you played. The first time you played against a white player was your first game in the NFL.
Yeah. And the first time that I slept in the same room with a white guy is when I met Ken Avery.
Right. And you guys were roommates for how many years?
We was 8 years.
Right. 8 years together.
Well, seven, because Ken came here. We was roommates for 7 years.
Right.
And it was a strange situation how we ended up becoming roommates. I know you probably read about the article that we was interviewed about, whereas we was down at the Neville and Hilton.
Right.
And we was getting room assignment. John Murdoch.
Right, John Murdoch, right? The business guy.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, right, yeah. So he was assigning room. And they got down to, matter of fact, I already had my roommate. My roommate was Frank Bunker.
Right.
You remember Bunker?
Remember Bunker, the linebacker.
Right, yeah. Well, we was assigned room. But I was still down in the lobby. I was just hanging out in the lobby. And I don't know where Avery was, but somewhere he was in the lobby also. And when they asked for 2 single rooms, and Ken and I don't know what, we just stepped up and said, why do we need 2 single rooms?
Right.
If we got 2 guys left.
Right.
I mean, why they ain't,
right.
assigning, roommates.
Right.
And then we walked up there and put our keys on the desk and said, John, we gonna be roommates.
Yep.
I mean, like, hey, we just meeting.
Right. You had just met.
Hey,
you guys had just met.
It ain't just like we sitting around, having conversation.
Right.
We just met.
Right.
And from that day forward, that's what it was,
Yeah.
And that was about salt and pepper.
Now I can see where you guys. I can see where. Kenny he grew up in the South, so he'd been around. He'd been around black people. I think he had played and went to school with black guys, but you had not done that with white guys.
Right.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah, because he played at, well, you know what? I'm trying to think. Southern Mississippi, he might not have had no black players.
Right.
He played with black players with New York.
Yeah, right.
When he was the New York Giants.
Right.
But I don't think Southern Mississippi.
Yeah.
I don't think they had black players.
See, that's hard for me to process there.
I know, me too.
But
growing up in the South, you pretty well kept up with the colleges.
Yeah.
Even though, you knew you couldn't attend, college, but you kind of compared yourself.
Yeah.
Compared yourself with the guy that played the same position that you was playing.
Right.
I guess when they say you get all the votes.
Right. Unanimous.
For 3 years, I got all the votes you get. You get 16 votes, I got 16 for 3 years.
Right.
So a unanimous choice. And that, now I'm going to tell you, when I came out of college, I was thinking I was going to San Diego. Because they did most of, I guess, recruiting me. Because there was always that stuff. They had a gentleman by the name of, what's his name? This short guy. And he worked for San Diego, and he was a scout.
Mm-hmm.
Locals, his name was Al Locasell or something.
Yeah, Al Locasell, who was a scout for the he was a scout for the Bengals.
Yeah, later on, yeah. But I'm saying he used to scout me when I was in college.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
When he was working for San Diego.
Correct.
Right. Then he went to work for. Then he worked for the Bengals, and he scouted you for the Bengals.
Right. Yeah, that's right. That's matter of fact, that's who signed me.
Right.
He was the one that signed me. Yeah. And so I would say today, if I had to make those decisions today, I think I would attend Southern University.
Mm-hmm. Because of the way it worked. Because the way it worked out for you.
Oh yeah, right. And I had an opportunity to play before my family. They was able to attend the games, and we just had a great time.
Yeah. What was it like, Al? What was it like playing for Paul Brown?
I tell you what, to me, that was one of the best things that happened to me.
Why?
It changed me from a boy to a man.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I've been in, college to that, but it's just how he treated us and how he demanded that you carry yourself in a certain way. You had to always be a gentleman. And if not, he'll let you know about it. So that was a blessing in disguise. Because I was one of those kids that, growing up in the South, I was a little wild.
Uh-huh.
I used to love to have fun. But, hey, and I would follow Paul Brown. His rules. When he said you got to be home at a certain time, you had to, that was me. I never tried to skip curfew. When you say, you're in your room at so-and-so time, I made sure I was there.
Yeah. I think we got a picture of you lifting him up, carrying him off the field after.
That was 1970.
No, there it was.
That was 1970. Matter of fact, it was me, Bergie, and what's the little defensive back name? Oh man, what's John? What was his name, man? I can't think of his name.
Did you tell him? Did you say, Coach, we're going to lift you up, or how did that happen?
Oh no, I just ran and grabbed him. Hey, if it's anything that you knew you want, all you had to be is to be close around Paul Brown, and you're gonna get your picture. Yeah. So I just made sure I grabbed one leg and put him on my shoulder. It was funny too, because what it was, someone had mentioned to me, I think probably been about 10 years now, or longer, when they was talking about putting a statue out in front of Paul Brown Stadium, you know, his statue, they wanted to put the statue where he was being lifted up.
They'd have to have a statue of you too, Al.
Right. That's right. That was what I was looking forward to. Hey, I walk up to that and say, "Hey, look at that! That Beauchamp."
Now that was you guys had just crunched the Patriots, right? You just pounded the Boston Patriots, right?
Yeah. But you know what? And I think the week before then was the Minnesota Vikings,
right?
Because they went to the Super Bowl that year, and we beat them in Riverfront Stadium. We beat them 28-0.
Now I think that first playoff game after you beat the Vikings and the Patriots, you finished off the season. You won 7 straight, and then you played the Colts, right? And Johnny U. It looked like Johnny U. Didn't have a great game, but he threw 2 big passes.
He said, and we done screwed up. He got a 5-year plan. And we was just on our 3rd year. So we was doing things that no other new franchise team had done.
Yeah.
You know, and then and our records finally got broken by Jacksonville.
Right.
You know, they broke all our expansion records.
Right.
But it was fun.
Yeah.
See, and that's one thing too that I think to help Bill. We was the year that I left from the Bengals. We was probably, I said maybe 2 players away from being Super Bowl caliber. Yeah, I think if we'd have got us, I think the one thing that was missing for a long time, we never had that dominated defensive end.
Right.
I think if we ever took some of that pressure off of Mike Reed,
yeah,
I think we would, we'd have made that next step.
Right. Well, yeah. Now the year you left, I guess your last year was 75, right? Was your last year was 75? Then they.
My last year was 70. Yeah, was 75 or 76.
And then they traded for Bacon in 76, right?
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, they got Bacon.
Right.
Yeah, they got that team. But I was hoping, because I had talked to Paul about whatever he would ask me to do on the team, I would have done. I wanted to play 2 more years. Because I figure in 2 years, we'll go to the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I had that much confidence in the team that we had put on the field.
Well, he went and got the pass rush. He went and got that pass rusher in Coy Bacon.
Right, see, but I didn't get a chance to play with him.
Right. He traded you. Where'd they trade?
St. Louis.
Right, St. Louis. Yeah.
Yeah, I went over there with Weber,
mm-hmm.
Coach Weber.
Right.
He went over there be the defense coordinator. I went over there with him.
Yeah. Was that a surprise? Was that a surprise when you get traded?
Was it a surprise?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No, because I was in Louisiana, and I went down to LSU because it was getting close to football camp.
Right.
And I went down there, to work out. And when I went in the weight room, was our strength coach. I can't think his name. Strength coach, and he was down there with Bo Harris. And he was working Bo Harris out. And they had got a ballet dancer or something to help me with his coordination.
Yeah.
And I figured that's what it was all about trading me.
Mm-hmm.
So when I came back to Cincinnati from Louisiana, I talked to Paul.
Yeah.
And I said, Paul, I'd like to have, 2 more years. It ain't about the money. is about an opportunity to play in a Super Bowl.
Right.
See, and I feel today, if he would have kept me on that team for 2 more years, the Bengals would have had a Super Bowl. That play that they ran to Taylor, I would have intercepted that pass.
Against the 49ers.
Yeah.
You would have picked that one off, Al?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I seen that play too many times.
Yeah.
And that was one of Bill's favorite play.
Bill Walsh?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That was his favorite play.
Yeah.
And especially in that position.
Right.
Because what he does, he always will fake that to the fullback. See, what he's trying to do is get that linebacker to step up. And he hit the little pass right behind him.
Yeah.
And that's what he done.
Now that was 6 years after the trade, Al. So you might have been.
No. That was 80.
Yeah, it was 81. Yeah, it was 81. Yeah.
Was it 81?
Yeah. Yeah. You.
When they was up at Pontiac?
Yeah. 40 years this year. The thing about
I was thinking I was 80.
Yeah. No, but that was so you were done playing. You had you played 9 years, right? Because you played a year with the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then what'd you do after that, Al? You went because you settled in Atlanta, right?
Correct. I for the first 2 years, I just, my 2 sons, I just hung out with them because they was involved in Little League and stuff like that. And I hung out with them and then got involved, in their high school because they both was involved in sports.
Right.
And I ran across some coaches that was coaching at high school. And I spent some time, coaching with them during the week and on the weekend. And they all, on the weekend, on like Saturday night, Sunday night, they had these little part-time jobs that they was working at these trucking companies. So I started hanging out with them, doing that. And I was at this one company, and the president of the trucking company approached me about getting in management. And that's when I went in the trucking industry.
Right.
And I started working in the trucking industry. And then that just moved me around. That's what brought me to Atlanta, Georgia.
Right, right.
But
are you retired now?
For the future.
Are you retired now, Al?
Oh, yeah, I've been retired now since 2013.
Okay. What have you been doing in your free time?
Going around the golf tournament.
That's nice, huh?
Yeah, going around the golf tournament, traveling.
That's good.
Getting a chance to spend time with family that, I didn't get to spend that much time with after, I left Louisiana.
Right. Speaking of Louisiana, it kind of, when you mentioned you went to work out at LSU, right? During the off season, you'd go work at LSU. You go work out down there, right?
Oh, yeah.
Now, and you'd go work out there when you were in high school, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But you couldn't play.
We had a great relationship.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of the athletic director. He used to visit my school, my high school, all the time.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, he gave me a book with colleges and universities.
Right.
And he said, you look in this book and find whatever school that you want to go to, and I will recommend you.
Wow.
He said, as much as we would like to have you here, but the athletic program is not integrated. So, that's the only thing.
Wow.
Because if it were, that we'll be recruiting you.
Yeah.
See, yeah.
Now, did he help you get into Southern? Did he help you?
No, because I didn't have no problem getting into Southern.
Right.
See, I dominated two sports. I had more basketball scholarships than I had football scholarships.
Wow. Where could you have gone out west to play basketball, or were you going to stay in the HBC to play basketball?
Oh, I would stay in HBC. Matter of fact, even at Southern, for the first 3 years, they tried to get me to play basketball.
Yeah.
But I was dealing with the weight situation because then I said I have opportunity to play professional football, and I lose a lot of weight when I played basketball.
Right.
But see, yeah, I averaged 25 points a game in high school.
Wow.
Yeah, and but my first love was football.
Yeah. So when the guy gave you the book and you look through it, anything stand out to you?
Oh no, it was a lot of nice universities and colleges, but like I said, the thing is my dad didn't want me to leave Louisiana. Matter of fact, he wanted me to go right across to Southern University.
Right.
I mean, that was his thing, is that he wanted me to stay home.
I'm going to ask you, I got two last questions for you, Al. Thank you so much for spending the time. One question, who's the best guy you played against in college or practiced against in college? And the same thing for the NFL.
I think the kid that I brought his name up early that played for Tennessee State named Eric Dickey.
He was a quarterback?
He's quarterback.
Okay.
I don't know if you remember the name Claude Humphrey.
Oh, yes, sir. In the Hall of Fame.
Well, see, yeah.
49ers? Falcons?
All them played at Tennessee State, like with Vern Holland.
Right.
Oh, yeah, all them, so.
Bengals tackle, Vern Holland.
Yeah. And I will tell you, the toughest guy had to be Larry Zonka.
Really?
Yeah.
That's the best guy you played against in the league?
I'm saying, yeah. I mean, he was a big guy, a tough runner.
Yeah.
And I would say he was the toughest guy to tackle.
Well, as a fellow Syracusan like Larry Zonka, I salute you, and
Yes.
and your great career in Cincinnati. And we can't thank you enough for spending the time and talking a little HBC and talking about those first Bengals teams. Great catching up with you, Al.
Yes. Thank you.